Hi, I'm Randy Reid, editor of Designing Lighting Magazine, and we are at the IALD Enlighten Americas Conference at the Rancho Bernardo Inn near San Diego. I'm joined by Randy Burkett of Reid Burkett Lighting Design. And Randy, you have won an Award of Merit for the Basilica Cathedral in St. Louis, and I have seen it before you did the lighting design. So tell our audience a little bit about this project.
All right. Well, it's good you had a before and after then, yeah? Well,
I haven't seen the after yet, except for the pictures.
Oh, okay.
But I want to see it in person.
I'll have to make another yes. visit to St. Louis. Yes, this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime projects. Not to blow it out of proportion, but you don't get opportunities like this. We were asked by the Archdiocese of St. Louis to come by one day and take a look at the interior of the cathedral. And it had been the first time I'd been there in years, and I had forgotten what a resplendent collection of mosaics.
Right. They have like one of the largest display of mosaic tiles in the country, I believe.
Well, it's the largest mosaic installation in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay.
Overall, about 40 to 50 million tiles. The tiles are 1 inch square. Yeah. So a lot of mosaic tiles. Right. But the Monsignor took us through the cathedral and pointed out where he would like to see the ceilings and the walls come alive, because the only time that happens is when good sunlight comes in through the cathedral, into the cathedral through the glass. And when that happens during the day, it's wonderful. Right. But much of the time, that isn't happening. So he said, what can you do? So we departed on a journey of about a year and a half. That the first phase was doing mock-up after mock-up after mock-up. We brought in equipment and positioned it at different locations within the cathedral, in the nave, and also in the other key points of the transept, to look at angles. One of the most difficult technical aspects of this was not necessarily finding where we could put lighting equipment, but where, almost like the arch so many years ago, is where are those reflections going to go? We could just as easily wash out a mosaic at the wrong angle, or make it explode with color and specularity, and that was our goal. And we spent the better portion of a year doing those mock-ups, ordering equipment in, dimming, and we got it to a point where they were very happy with the design. So then we documented it. It went to press, so to speak. We had a really good contractor who had done work in the cathedral for some time, so they knew it in and out. We could get in every nook and cranny of the dome and the domes. We were at places I didn't even know exist, but we were able to conceal about 90% of the lighting equipment completely from view, from areas in nooks and crannies, and in a gallery space that flanks the nave. And that was probably the most challenging part of this project. It was very fulfilling. One other aspect, though, is worth mentioning. Please. The nave, the main nave, and the transepts had very low light levels. Even when light was on at night, full, was well under 10-foot candles, about 5-foot candles, and that would be fine for candlelight services and such. But a lot of the people who come are older aged, and they need more light. We appropriated the oculus at the pinnacle of the Basilica dome, the main dome, and there had been lighting there for a long time. Believe it or not, 500-watt par 56 tungsten halogen.
I believe it.
Yes, 108 of them. Some quick math tells you it's over 50,000 watts. We took all that out. We designed a new armature to float above that oculus opening and attach to the oculus a total of 34 LED luminaires with various distributions and lensing, and we were able to distribute light over 2/3 of the seating area in the nave and throughout the transept. So it's sort of having all the source coming from one. And there was some metaphor there, I think, the light of God, and we had such great conversations. So anyhow, it was a wonderful project.
So let's hear, what type of fixtures did you specify?
Well, specifically, you're talking about manufacturers and such?
Yes, you can use names.
Yes, we had two manufacturers we worked with on equipment. Well, actually, 3 or 4, because there were some small things we had to do by attaching to altars and things like that and conceal them. But Iguzzini had one of those smaller rolls. But the main workhorses were Lumenpulse, and the one that we used in the Oculus was a Griven. Okay, and they had the kinds of distributions we wanted, the sizes, and it just worked out to be, we ended up using two manufacturers' floodlights, but that was okay. We were able to accomplish what it was we needed. It was two-phased. The first phase was the basilica roof, and then the rest of the cathedral was done layer 2. They was one right after. They're almost overlapping.
Okay. Color rendering and Kelvin temperature.
Yeah, everything is quite warm, as you might expect, but not overly warm. It was 3K, and we needed to have high color rendering, and a sort of a goosed warm or a high color rendering in the reds and yellows, and that was
goosed. I love that term.
Well, designers. What are you going to say? And we the color was never there. They were using old metal halide and high pressure sodium sources.
No.
Yes, and we
inside.
Okay. And they had appropriated those from old grocery stores that were donating their old lighting fixtures. So anyhow, right.
Sustainable.
That's right. Well, not really. The wattage of those things were quite high, but it was sustainable for the equipment.
Controls?
Yes, ETC controls, and we work closely with an integrator commissioning person in town who actually works for one of the representatives.
Okay.
St. Louis Lighting Associates, and did a wonderful job. He stayed up night after night with us to say, no, we're going to have to move that halo further up. Let us get it adjusted, and then we want you to dim it to this. And so it was painstaking at times, but a lot of fun.
I'm learning more and more about the integrators, and I assume you think they're very valuable, or you wouldn't have.
They are, and although they wouldn't call themselves integrators with the agency, but they pretty much do everything when it comes to commissioning.
All right. Well, Randy, congratulations on your Award of Merit.